So we arrived at the airport 4 hours ahead of time because we heard a lot of people might have missed their flight. So we wanted to make sure we had enough time. After that, while we were waiting at the airport, we noticed that a snowstorm picked in. And then as we're getting on the plane, we saw that the snowstorm was picking up, and I'm filming the plane in front of us, which you could hardly see. So it's always a little bit stressful when you take off in a plane and then to have a snowstorm and freezing weather at the same time. You're kind of asking yourself some questions there. At first, what they do is they start de-icing the plane with this orange stuff that they start shooting all over the plane. And this is basically to remove any of the ice that's on it. After they've removed the ice, then they start shooting this green stuff on it. And this green stuff is supposed to stay on the plane as the plane takes off to make sure that nothing else freezes as you're taking off. And then we're looking out the window as we're taking off and you can't see nothing, and then whoop, right through the clouds. Anthony was awesome in the plane. We put some little spinners on the windows and he was playing with those. And then the rest of the time he had his books and he could read, and then he slept some. And it was really nice to not have a crying baby. And I think everyone around us really appreciated that. And after a long flight, we finally arrived in Puerto Rico and we started landing and we could see the sun and the beautiful weather.
The day after we arrived, we went out and started to walk towards the old city. And along the way, I think we first saw the university, the medical university on the one side of the street. But as we continued walking along this very large boulevard, we noticed that they had the statues of the presidents of the United States all along. And it was really amazing to see, because you could actually, when you looked at the statues, you could kind of say, oh, that's President Kennedy, that's Herbert Hoover, and it was just so well thought up. And everywhere we went as we walked towards San Juan, there was more and more statues of all different kinds of activities that have happened around the world. There was UNICEF, I can't remember all of them, but it was just so interesting to look at them. We walked through the town and we saw these beautiful homes all painted in different colors. And we finally arrived at the furthest end of San Juan, where the large fort was. When we started to walk around the fort, we were able to see how the original settlers that came there and built this fort, how they lived with going through their rooms and going through just the different aspects that you felt you kind of knew what it would be like to live in this type of environment during a time where you're being bombarded by perhaps pirates. So the next fort, we walked back to the main through the city again, and we went into the second fort. And this fort was very high on a hill. We had to walk up quite a few steps to get up to it. And once we got inside, it was similar to the other fort, but to the point that it was in a different position. And from there, we were able to look out and we could see all around the city, all the beautiful buildings, as well as the cruise port. You could see where the cruise boats were docked and coming in. And there was just a wonderful way of seeing the entire city from one vantage point.
We visited a little pigeon park, if we can call it this way, and it's by the sea, and there's a lot, when I say a lot, there's a whole lot of pigeon, and they have this wall with all those little holes in the wall, and in each hole you would have a pigeon, or even two, sitting there taking a nap, enjoying the sun. And we walked through it with Anthony. Again, I was amazed by it, so you can imagine how amazed Anthony was about it. It was really exciting, really fun to walk all around the Pigeon. Kind of worrying, are you gonna get a little poop on your head or not? You were kind of being careful with that, and lucky he had his shoes on, so it doesn't matter if we step in poop because there's a lot on the floor, on the ground. And he had a lot of fun, like walking by and watching the pigeon fly. You can even feed them if you want to pay for the little bag. And they also had those strings of tissue material, all colorful. They just hang in there and they move in the wind, which is really pretty. I'm guessing pigeons almost like fly or fool around with this and have fun. And once Anthony saw all those colors, again, baby love colors, and he started playing with them without me even doing anything on his own. He took 2 pieces and started doing peekaboo with me, and at first I missed a couple times because I didn't realize what he was doing, and then I said, oh my God, he's doing peekaboo. So then I was like, cuckoo, cuckoo, and we had a little fun with that. It was really cute, again, seeing his eyes and his smile, discovering the world. It was beautiful. The first beach that we visited was very exciting for me, but also very excited for Anthony. It was his first experience at the beach, and he had a real excitement to see the water, but he was quite scared also because the waves are a little noisy and they're impressive for him. He's so small. And I tried to go really slow and follow his leads. If he didn't feel comfortable, I would lift him higher, then I would put him down a little bit. Then he kind of flapped in the water, had fun with it. Then whoop, he wasn't in his comfort zone anymore. But at home, he really likes the water, so we figured that if he gets little by little used to it, he would love the water, and that's what happened eventually. He just loved the sea. We walked by a park and it was all decorated for Christmas. So all Christmas lights everywhere, Christmas trees also. And when Anthony saw them, it was just magical seeing the twinkle in his eyes and the excitement of seeing new things, but not only new things, but lights. And he loves lights, like most every baby loves lights. And we were walking by them, and then he wanted to go to see the next one and see the next one and see the next one. He was always more excited by the next one. He was really happy about that. It was very cute. Wow!
Well, after spending a great few days in San Juan, it was time for us to continue our trip and head over to the island of Culebra. As you want to head over to that island, you're going to have to take a ferry, and I recommend that you reserve a ticket at least a month in advance. Locals have the right of way, so they'll be able to pass in front of you. If you just show up, you might be waiting there the whole day to be able to get a ticket to get across. The time to transit over by the ferry is about 45 minutes to an hour and a quarter. It all depends on the boat that you're going to be using to get across. Once you arrive in Culebra, you'll notice that it's an amazing, beautiful place with lots of beaches and some great snorkeling.
Another beach that we visited was called Zoni Beach because we did a lot of beaches and it was very fun. So we played a lot in the sand. It was thick sand. Anthony loves playing in the sand, has sand everywhere. everywhere you can imagine. It had sand, even in his mouth. He was eating the sand. That's fine. He's building his immune system. We had a lot of fun. We also got a little more in the water. Every day he got more comfortable. When it was a little more wavy, kind of cautious, go back a bit, go slow, but we had a lot of fun.
Are you ready to go for a golf cart ride?
Yeah!
Yeah! As we came down to this beach, we noticed how big and steep the hill to get there was. And then, as we were leaving, we were thinking, how is this little golf cart gonna make it up this huge and steep hill? And here comes the hill.
Come on, little buggy, you can do it! Let's go, little buggy!
At this point, I'm thinking, how fast are we actually going?
Looks like we're getting out and walking. That's it. Have to get out and push!
Even Anthony knew it was a bad idea to tell them to push the cart. I paid for that later that night.
Glad to see you're back!
I think we fell off.
You had to push. Hey.
Was that funny?
After the really long hill, we were able to get back to our room and we had lunch. And then after that, we left to go over to Flamenco Beach in the afternoon, which is supposed to be one of the prettiest beaches around. And let me tell you, this place is just gorgeous. And the little tanks in the corner were kind of interesting.
And when we got there, it just seemed deserted. It was so beautiful and wide. The sand was so white, and the sand never gets hot on the type of sand it is. And you were able to walk on it for, it felt like miles. And all you could see was this beautiful ocean and the colors of the sea and this white sand that was so firm that you didn't sink into it as you walked, where you do on different beaches.
At the end of the beach, you're gonna find two rusting carcasses of old M4 Sherman tanks that were left behind by the United States Navy after their departure from Flamenco Beach in 1975, which was used as a weapons testing ground for them for more than 30 years.
Chloe and I were walking along the street, and one of the shop owners told us that we could get a really great dessert at this place called Heavenly Rolls. So we thought we'd go over and check it out, but once we checked it out, we decided we had to eat there for kind of a treat. And what it was is they had the ice cream that they would put on a cold slab of either granite or a very cold type of material, hard. As they mix all the ice cream together, then they would put it in a wafer that was shaped like a taco, and then they would roll it all up into this bowl. And from there, they would add anything else that you would like, such as whipped cream and maybe coconut, any little special treat that you would want in it. And then you go out and you eat it outside on a little patio. It was heavenly.
This is delicious.
So as we drove downtown, we come to the bay where we usually take the boat to leave the island. They were making fresh pizzas with pizza ovens in the square. And as the sun set behind us in this beautiful evening, warm evening, we couldn't help but smell these delicious pizzas. So we went up and we asked for an order. We ordered 2 pizzas and we thought, well, we'll take it back to our condo and eat it there. And the young man said to us, you have to eat it right away. It's not the same if it sits. So we sat in the, as the sun lowered in the sky behind us, and we ate these most delicious pizzas that I've ever tasted.
Oh, the smell.
On the west side of Culebra Island, there's some great snorkeling. It's right by where the ferry comes in. You have to go in a little further, but there is so much to see over there and lots of sea turtles. Be sure to stay a safe distance away from the coral reefs to make sure that you don't damage them.
We visited another small beach nearby the city, and again, Anthony was not so used with the water, with the sea, with the sounds, and with the texture of everything. So we started playing in the sand, and what I decided to do is go close enough to the water line, but not too much, just enough so you can have a little bit. But then the waves were coming in. I was building a little wall, a protective wall for my precious little baby. And as the wave came in, it kind of destroyed my wall. I had to rebuild it again and again, and a little higher and a little higher, a little wider. But he was playing with the wall, he was playing with the sand, he was playing with the water, because the water slowly got around him. It hit the wall and it slowly filled like a little puddle where he was sitting. So he could like play in the water, but also not too much and not be too much afraid of the wave coming in. So I would just rebuild the wall, let it sit, tried to protect him. Another wave came in, and then he got a little more used to it. And then he started crawling. He crawls towards the sea, and then not too sure, turns around, then go back. And then after all, he got so comfortable that he was really excited about getting closer and closer to the waves. So he would go down and crawl, and then again, he would kind of get surprised by a wave. Then, oh, okay, I went a little further down. Now it's too much for me. Then he would go back up. So it was really fun having him experience the beach this way and trying to do it slow so he's not scared of it. And he had a lot of fun.
Once we left Culebra Island, we went over to the city of Luquillo to visit the area. It was a good half-hour walk to the beach every day, but it was really worth it. It was really beautiful.
We're breaking in. She almost. What a good break. But
Okay, your turn now, Chloe.
good prison break. Me?
We spent quite a few days in Luquillo, and we really loved going to the beach every day. There was a nice little barrier reef that was out there, and it was stopping the waves from coming in, and Anthony had a lot of fun. It built his confidence to not have big waves, so he could just walk in the water, and we would have fun with him every single day. There's also a great little strip mall that's probably about a 5 to 10 minutes walk away from the beach, and there's about 20 to 30 stores and restaurants over there, so you'll find everything that you need to shop and have some food while you're enjoying your day on the beach.
I got you a little mug. I got you a little mug. You like it?
All in all, Luquillo was one of our favorite places to visit because it had all the conveniences of a lot of stores and everything around, and it was easy to shop and get your groceries, and the beach was just beautiful over there.
Up goes the weasel. Up goes the
We're
weasel.
gonna fall back soon. Careful!
I know. What you doing? What you doing? Oh, ow. Hey, leave me some hair. I need some hair. I need some hair.
we had the amazing chance to visit El Yunque rainforest. It's a beautiful place. If you go to Puerto Rico, you have to go at least once in one of the rainforests. The sensation of being there is very, very particular because you're so high up, it's away from everything, and it's very, very, very calm. It's beautiful. And we had a lot of fun there too. We swam in the water. Yes, the water is cold in the rainforest, but it was quite fun. Anthony enjoyed himself also. And we even fed the fish, and they came all the way up, and Anthony was playing with some rocks and playing with the fish. He was exploring everything. Beautiful place to visit.
Anthony, what you up to? Yeah.
Our last stop was in Cerro Gordo. It's west of San Juan, and there's a nice hiking trail right next to the beach. So every day we went out and walked a little bit in the hiking trail and then went back over to the beach to enjoy the rest of our day. The beach was really nice over there, and we only stayed a few days. The only problem is grocery shopping was quite a ways away from the beach, so it was a little bit harder to walk and to replenish our supplies. Also, out at the other end of the beach, there's some snorkeling there that you can do too, in between the little island that's out there.
Hey, Anthony! How do you like that?
We really enjoyed visiting Puerto Rico. We enjoyed some of the most beautiful places there is to see over there, and we had so much fun. Chloe said that she would like to even move there. So if you're thinking about traveling to Puerto Rico, we highly recommend it. It's really worth the trip.